Happy day students. Welcome to SAN Academy Pallikarnai, Class 9 Biology. In this session, we are going to discuss about Chapter 15, Improvement in Food Resources. So, we all know food is the basic and essential requirement of all living organism, and food is the ultimate source of energy. It is required for the growth, development and repair processes. It also protects the organism from various diseases. In fact, all living organisms in the biosphere need food to obtain energy and for proper body functioning. So we get our food from plants and animals. We get a variety of food like cereals, vegetables and fruits from different parts of plants like root, stem, leaf, seed and fruit. We get milk, egg, meat, etc. from animals to fulfill our nutritional requirements. Plants are generally autotrophs, so they can prepare their own food, whereas animals are heterotrophs and they depend upon the other plants and animals for their food. In ancient period, people used to hunt animals and gather fruits from forest to fulfill their nutritional requirements, whereas nowadays various food yielding plants and animals are reared under human supervision. So the two specialized field that deals with it are agriculture, which is agar means field and culture means cultivation of field, and animal husbandry. So in order to put it in a nutshell, agriculture generally refers to applied science that deal with the mass production of plant which are useful for human being. So in this chapter we will be discussing in detail about two important components. One is improvement in crop yield and the second is about animal husbandry. So under improvement in crop yields, we will be covering three important topics: how the production can be increased. First is how to increase the variety of crops, that is crop variety improvement, and it can be done by crossbreeding, hybridization or by producing genetically modified crops. And the second, crop production management, how to increase the produce from the crops, under which we will be discussing in detail about how to maintain the nutrients, irrigation and the different cropping patterns. And third, we will be discussing about crop protection management. So once we have increased the produce, it is our responsibility and duty to protect them, that is to store them safely. So under that we will be discussing about the various biotic and abiotic factors that are responsible for storage losses. As we all know, India is the most populous country and our population is more than 1 billion and it is still growing on. To put it even more precise, the population of our country is about 1.2 billion and it stands second in the world in terms of population. And the population of our country is increasing very rapidly and it is expected to reach 1.3 billion by the year 2020. So in order to fulfill the food requirement of such a large population, we need to produce a large amount of grains, and this can be done only by increasing the land for agriculture. But as we know, India is an intensively cultivated country. We don't have so much land available for doing agriculture. So the next way in order to meet up the food requirement is to increase the crop production, that is from the available land for cultivation. We should try our best to get maximum amount of produce, that is maximum amount of products as well as livestock. So the production efficiency of crops and livestock can be increased by adopting scientific management practices to improve crop yield by following mixed farming, intercropping, integrated farming practices like combining agriculture with livestock, poultry, fisheries, beekeeping, etc. Our country has achieved success in increasing the production of food to some extent because of certain new discoveries and techniques introduced in the area of science and technology. And this is known as Green Revolution, which mainly focused on increasing the production of food grains, and followed by White Revolution, which focused on the increasing production of milk and the maximum utilization of the available milk, and Yellow Revolution mainly concentrated on the increased production of oil, and the Blue Revolution mainly concentrated on the increased production of fishes. But there is a disadvantage in this also. the natural resource of our country. What is happening to it? That is the land, soil, water, fossil fuel, etc. What is happening to this when we are going into all these revolutions? Because all these natural resources are being more and more exploited to reach the goal of increased food production for the ever increasing human population. Due to this increased exploitation, the balance of our natural resource has been disturbed and has created following problems like soil erosion, loss of soil fertility, floods, drought, eutrophication, extinction of flora and fauna, etc. Thus, in order to take the measures to increase food production without causing damage to the environment and affecting the natural balance, adoption of sustainable practices in agriculture and animal husbandry has to be followed so that it can increase food production without depletion of natural resources and disturbing the natural balance. So, to put it in a nutshell, sustainable agriculture is nothing but the successful management of agricultural resources to satisfy the changing human needs while maintaining or enhancing the quality of environment and conserving the natural resources. That is, we have to meet up the food requirement by the growing population. At the same time, we should not exploit our natural resources. So, sustainable agricultural practice is a practice where both these needs are being satisfied. And the main advantage of sustainable agriculture are it achieves the combination of biological cycle. That is, the cycle remains constant so that whatever is obtained from the nature is going back to the nature. Second, it helps in protection and renewability of soil fertility. So whatever we are going to add as a nutrient to the soil in order to facilitate the growth of the crop will in turn increase the fertility of the soil also. And it manages the use of farm resource to optimum. That is, the maximum amount of farm resources will be utilized so that we will get maximum amount of produce. And it also helps to get adequate and reliable income. As we know, agriculture is the basic business, basic occupation in our country. When we follow sustainable agriculture practice, it helps the farmers to get a reliable and adequate income.